Belly fat is a symptom of menopause, and I'm postmenopausal. I'm 56, but when I was in my late 40s, I had belly fat, and try as I might in the traditional methods, I just couldn't get rid of it. So I'm gonna take you through my 7 key steps that are gonna help you shed that menopause belly fat. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. I'm here in the Caribbean enjoying amazing sunshine, wearing crop tops and swimwear that I could never do in my 40s because I had belly fat. But I can assure you, you can get rid of it with the right methods, but you have to throw out of the window what you already know about getting rid of fat and getting rid of belly fat, because when you're menopausal or postmenopausal or even perimenopausal, and I get tons of women approach me that are in this phase. They've tried extreme dieting, they've tried tons of cardio, they've tried sit-ups, and they just don't work, and they've come to desperation to get rid of it. And I can assure you, you absolutely can get rid of it by employing these 7 simple steps. And I really want to help you. I'm so passionate about this because I know that when you're going through menopause, it's one of the biggest problems that you have. So as well as the hot flashes, the night sweats, the anxiety, and the 30 other symptoms you can get, belly fat is actually one of them. And the reason that you get it, it's a medical reason that you're getting belly fat. It's because your hormones, particularly estrogen in this case, your estrogen is depleting and your body is trying to make more estrogen. And so in doing that, what you do is you actually put on fat around your midsection. Now I know I get comments from people saying, oh, but if you've got too much estrogen, so estrogen dominance, you also gain fat. But that tends to sit around your hips and buttocks, whereas when you have not enough estrogen, it's going to sit around your midsection. This is what I looked like when I had that fat around my midsection. I was trying all the traditional methods to lose it. So let's get into it. Let's get into those 7 steps that you need to take. Nutrition is absolutely key, and I'm going to talk about nutrition, but it's not about going on a diet. Going on fad diets do not work in the long term. And if you want to get rid of that midsection like I did and keep it off for good, not just short term, the fad diets, the extreme fasting, they're not things that you can stick to in the long term, so they actually don't work. Can I tell you, I eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I eat snacks, and I still don't have the belly fat that I had in my mid to late 40s. So you don't need to do anything extreme. I eat a reasonable amount of calories. So the first thing that you need to do is eating protein at every single meal and at every single snack. And so what you need is 1 gram of protein per pound in your body weight. And why is that? Why do we need that amount of protein? Well, what protein's going to do is it's going to help build your metabolism. And your metabolism, when you've gone through menopause, or you're going through menopause or perimenopause, it actually starts in your early 40s. Your metabolism starts decreasing because of the change in your hormones, like progesterone, like estrogen, and testosterone, by the way, when that starts depleting. And so what protein's going to do, because it takes your body longer to break down protein, is actually going to help your body burn fat more easily if you eat plenty of protein. It's also going to keep you satisfied, and it's also going to help you build and maintain muscle, which is another way that you're going to boost your metabolism, by building and maintaining muscle. So I can't stress this enough. You know, when I work with women, this is the first thing that we look at, and it's also most of my programs a high protein meal plan. Now I have a free nutrition guide that you can download today, so you can ensure that you get your protein absolutely right. The second key area is I don't want you to completely cut out carbs. I want you to switch your carbs from things like pasta, white bread, white flour to complex carbohydrates like squash, sweet potato, oatmeal, brown rice, quinoa. Those are absolutely fantastic carbohydrates when you're going through menopause. They're going to be much better for you, and they're actually going to give you energy through the day. They're going to give you energy to work out. I'm going to talk about the type of working out that you need to burn menopause belly fat. And carbohydrates are actually another building block for muscle building. So they're going to help you with your energy and performance in the gym or your home gym. So it's really important not to skip carbohydrates, because when you do that, you actually slow your metabolism down, because it's going to cause you to lose muscle mass, and you can't afford to lose any muscle mass. You're already losing muscle at a rate of 1% per year when you hit over the age of 40. So everything's got to be around building and maintaining muscle mass, and so eating those complex carbohydrates, they're really going to do that. They're what we call low GI carbohydrates, and that's what I want you to start incorporating if you're not doing that already. Number 3, I didn't know about this initially, is looking after your gut health. So as you get older, your gut health starts to go off, and so if you've got poor gut health, guess what? That's gonna give you inflammation, especially around your midsection. Can give you inflammation all over your body. So what you want to do is actually eat things like fermented foods. Make sure you're not eating ultra processed foods. That can make your gut go off. I find that refined sugar, and I'm in the home of refined sugar at the moment in Barbados, where they used to grow all the sugar cane and ship it overseas. Unfortunately, it was mainly grown by slaves, but sugar is a real problem when you get to menopause, and I'm going to talk about the other reasons in a minute. It's not just to do with your gut health, but you want to take a probiotic and a digestive enzyme if you're having problems with your gut health. That can really help. And a probiotic is just taken daily, and digestive enzymes are actually taken with every single meal, and I know that made a huge difference when I was having problems with my gut health. You also want to watch for certain types of food, whether you're developing intolerances to them. So you can find you've never had an intolerance to food in your life, and suddenly it kind of comes on during perimenopause, menopause and post-menopause. So you want to watch if you're having digestion problems. Maybe you notice bloating after eating certain foods, and the biggest culprits tend to be dairy and gluten. What you can find in addition to your gut health is you're going to have problems with insulin resistance. So that's where the number 4 thing is the key area, and that's ditching ultra processed foods and minimizing any other type of processed food, which actually includes sugar, white flour and that kind of thing, because after all they are processed. So always opt for foods that have been minimally processed. That's looking at labels on packaging and going for things with single ingredients, just one ingredient. That's going to be so much better for you than lots of ingredients, because 80% of Americans are walking around with insulin resistance. So we can pretty much assume it's the same in the rest of the Western world. And by the way, when you're going through menopause, you're much more likely to be prone to insulin resistance. So you can kind of assume that you've got it and just treat it as such. So that's minimizing sugar, white flour and processed foods. It's really going to help with that. The number 5 way of reducing menopause belly fat, and this has definitely changed as you get older, and that is getting enough good quality sleep. So if it's possible for you and you don't work shifts, try to sleep according to the circadian rhythm. That's getting up and going to bed at the same time every day. That's minimizing your technology half an hour before you go to sleep. Stop doing close screen time. You may want to take supplements. I love ashwagandha as a sleep supplement, and what I actually have found is since I've been taking progesterone, so I take a progesterone tablet at night before I go to sleep, I actually find my sleep quality is so much better. So remember, if you're not getting enough sleep and you've got belly fat, the two things are connected, because you can find you really slow your metabolism down by not getting enough sleep. It can make your hormones out of whack, and it affects your thyroid, and it actually affects your insulin resistance. So lack of sleep actually causes insulin resistance. So it's really important to get on top of that. My number 6 tip, and we haven't even talked about exercise yet, is reducing your stress levels. Now, I can't do managing stress the time it needs in this video. It can come across as really flippant, but you do have to be mindful of your stress levels. I'm mindful of my stress levels. I do need to take time to incorporate those relaxation techniques. I listen to mindfulness audio and take time to actually meditate. That's really key. And you do have to be aware of stress, and if you've got high stress levels, as we do tend to have in the Western world, it's really important to firstly acknowledge that and take some steps to managing stress if stress is an issue for you, and it is for many women in this age category. The number 7 tip that I'm going to talk about, it's last but definitely not least, is you do need to incorporate strength training. Now, many people will say to me, and I have clients approach me, Melissa, I want you to help me incorporate ab exercises because I need to do something about midsection. And yes, it's really good to have a strong core, and I exercise my core, but with strength training, any of the compound lifts that I recommend for women over 40, so it's your squats, your deadlifting movements, your push movements like push-ups and bench press, and pull movements like pull-ups or pull-downs or rows, they actually all exercise your core. And so for me, isolating my core, I probably do once a week. I incorporate something like Pilates once a week, or I might add in 2 or 3 ab exercises to my routine once or twice a week. That's going to give me a strong enough core. But what actually gets rid of belly fat around your midsection is all the things that I've talked about, which actually help with your metabolism so your body burns fat more easily, and strength training, because strength training actually does improve your metabolism. Building muscle is going to help your body burn fat more easily, and that's what's going to burn belly fat. When you see women that have adapted my style of fat loss, the over 40 method, which is great, by the way, reducing belly fat, what you'll find is they reduce the fat around their midsection, just as I have, and I've had over 8,000 women through my programs now, so I know this stuff works. It's really tempting to think you want to do loads of cardio, you want to do loads of sit-ups, but that doesn't really work. Too much cardio in the long term can actually make your belly fat worse. And loads of sit-ups, if you're doing the wrong kind of thing, like weighted ab exercises, they can actually push your abs out. So you've got to be careful with anything like cardio and ab exercises, and stick to the strength training, stick to a few key core exercises. That's going to be much better for you.